We want to make sure that that dream does not remain a dream. We want to make sure that the future is not hazy. Carrie Cullen Brown is founder of Kekeli Foundation, the NGO that brought Livingstone's story to our attention here at the GH1 newsroom. She tells us exactly what help Livingstone needs.
When it comes to the cause of the disability, and so that has been a bit of a challenge to get parents to understand the needs of the children and getting the proper assessments done and getting them into school. But we realize with time, with education, we can bring some understanding of the needs of the children and the causes of the disabilities. Well, we're looking at how we can get into school now and how we can get the medical assessment done. We're in the process right now. We have started the medical assessment, but we know there's a long road ahead of us. So any support we can get to assist him, especially to get into school, will be wonderful. Well, right now we've just done the MRI, so we're waiting to meet with the doctor to see if anything has shown up to give us more details on what his condition is. From there, we'll know how best to move forward with his medical.
Well, let's have a conversation on the back of Livingstone's story and the kind of help he needs and what the system is supposed to provide for him as a child born of Ghanaian heritage. George O is from the Human Rights Advocacy Center here in Ghana. He would help us talk about this issue a bit more. We'd also look at inclusive education for persons with disability. George, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I want to know, first of all, what do you think about Livingstone's story? How do you feel about it?
It's very sad and pathetic in this day and age where people with disability have access to almost everything and can do everything. In some jurisdictions where they can, some even can drive, like Livingstone can drive. It's very unfortunate that he finds himself in this situation in Ghana.
Unfortunate indeed. But how many of cases as this come to your attention at the Advocacy Center?
People don't report them to us as such, but we go to the field and then we see some of them. So we are aware of it.
Okay.
About a year and a half back, we had funding from the USAID, and we went into disability, trying to do help people with disability and their family to understand the Disability Act and then the Mental Health Act, so that they can stand and then fight for their rights. Unfortunately, the funding is not too big for us to cover the whole Ghana, so somebody like Livingstone's family will not have access.
It's not unable to benefit.
But at least we work with the Ghana Federation of Disability and then the National Council on Disability, and we believe that the information went round a bit.
But now that it has come to your attention, is Livingstone likely to get any help from the Advocacy Center or in any way?
We will pick it up and see. I mean, we'll try and then go into it. Our mandate is to protect, promote and protect human rights. So I know he's in prayer camp.
He's at home. They, well, not so much of a home. They live in some sort of a makeshift shelter, and resort to the prayer camp when things get tough.
Yeah,
extremely
human
tough.
rights advocacy is a very big thing.
Okay.
We don't have funding. I mean, we don't have.
So what kind of
support you can get?
What kind of, we'll get to the support, but what I want to know is what kind of rights are we stripping off this child because of his condition?
His condition. We are stripping off one, education, because education is right per our constitution and per the Disability Act is a right. Not only, in fact, when we talk about the education of disability, we talk about all-inclusiveness. And when we talk about all-inclusiveness, we are thinking about them going to sit in the class with the able people. All-inclusiveness doesn't mean that the child has to be in the same class with an able person. It should be able to, even if he's being educated on their own. We have a school for special needs children. That's what I will call them, special needs children. Then everything that the mainstream, the regular education system gets, they also should have. For example,
so what you're saying is that under the inclusive education policy, we shouldn't necessarily have schools for children with special needs.
We should. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the understanding is that the people with disability should be mingled with what do you call it? People who are able. That's one. If the person can cope.
If the person can cope, the person
with
should
the situation, because it's inclusiveness. It's a free, openly actions that are taken. That makes what do you call it? The people with person with disability appropriately, right, adjust to the system and then benefit from it. But we should have school for special need people.
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is that the school for the special need, their curriculum, everything should be tailored like the ones with, who are able.
Okay.
So that they will learn and come up the same way the other able people will come up. So we have to know. I mean, it's very economically intensive thing, but we have to aim towards that.
I know you've been working with the Social Protection Ministry. You've been working with the GFD. You've been working with the Education Service because somehow they become stakeholders in this regard. Tell us how far they have gone with implementing this inclusive education policy after it was publicly launched, I think May this year.
Oh, I know some efforts have been made. I mean, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection have done a lot. There are a lot of policies that they have put up, which may not necessarily, but they have policies on disabled people. Okay. For example, the NHIS, they target disabled people and make sure that they get insurance, free insurance, and other things. The National Disability Council also have, what do you call it, plans. And so they are working, people are working. The schools are also working, they are working. But what we are saying is that we have a long way to go. So
should we expect you to take up Livingstone's case as an advocacy center?
Yes, we'll go into it. We'll go into it and see how best we can advocate for him to be helped to get a school, not to find himself in the prayer camp as we had it there, and then what are the needs that he have. I mean, let me tell you this thing. Disability parent, people who have children with disability, it's very, very tedious work to do. If you don't take care, a mother is going to be disabled himself. He can't do anything because
I mean, when you look at Livingstone's case, the little sister is also affected because she cannot go to school and leave the mother and Livingstone behind because the mother needs to go and look for something to do to fend for the two of them. So it does not only affect Livingstone. Once we find help for Livingstone, we find help for the little sister as well.
But what I'm trying to chip in is that parents alone cannot do it. And that is why the government's involvement is very, very key. So that they may have the support. I mean, the father, we are looking at the father and we are saying that the father has, I think he left the house.
They have moved away from the house because the father, he's
who has cancelled
he's fed up with the situation.
But who have cancelled this father? We don't know. I don't know. But I don't know whether when you did the story you find out who has cancelled.
No, it's not happened for them. Unfortunately, we have to end our conversation here.